Hello, viewers. You are welcome to my channel. This is Famatanto, and today I'm here in my eco village with an amazing guy. He's an amputee soccer player, and he's out to let the world know that disability is not inability. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. Good
Wow.
morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm perfect. Thank you.
So, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Theodore Fon. I'm from Amenda, precisely from Batibo.
Wow, Diodene. So, you're my namesake. I'm also Diodene, which means God has given. I hear you are an amputee soccer player. So, what is it all about?
Yeah. First of all, when I lost my leg, I never knew I was going to play football again. From childhood, I've always had this ambition for football. I've had love
Okay.
for football.
Mm-hmm.
But when I lost my leg, I thought all hopes about football is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amputee sport is game that is played on one limb, or if you have one arm, or you can be part of the game. So this game, I came across it in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was displaced from Batibo, I came to Bamenda. I met some young guys, and we came up with the team here in Bamenda,
Okay.
and it has really helped me in my vision, in my ambitions in life to intervene for people with disabilities.
Okay.
This game also, it keeps me happy, it keeps me active, it keeps me
Wow.
healthy.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's not all about the football alone. It keeps me, you know, it keeps me really healthy.
Yeah.
It keeps me happy, and it keeps me going into my other activities that I love doing.
Okay. So you belong to the amputee football team. Is it
Yes.
like a national team that's recognized in Cameroon?
It is still very difficult at this moment,
Okay.
but we have a club here in Bamenda, and
Okay.
we also have a national team, which
Okay.
we are still struggling to structure it, to have sponsorship, to have all of that.
Okay.
But my focus is not only about playing the soccer as being a professional football player,
Okay.
though I'm looking forward that I could play in Europe, but my attention is to how we can create a rehabilitation program for amputees.
Okay.
There are so many people who have amputation due to conflicts, some have amputation due to diabetics, some have
Okay.
it due to a lot of things. So I'm thinking of how I can come up with people like you. We can come up with something like a rehabilitation program
Okay.
which can keep people who have amputation or people with disabilities active. They can be doing exercises. They can always come together to do
Mhm.
sports. They can always do all of those things,
Okay.
provide NCDs
Okay.
as a means of mobilizing. Sport has a way of mobilizing people.
That's right.
So that is actually some of my visions.
Okay.
you know.
So actually, you mentioned that you lost your leg when you were still small. How old were you and what happened?
I was about 7 years old. I had burns when I was small,
Okay.
and they were not well treated, so the leg developed into elephantiasis, and that is how my leg was amputated. But it's a whole long story,
Mhm.
which at some point I had to stay in the hospital for like 2 years with
Oh
my
wow.
brother, and it was really a difficult one for me.
Wow.
Yes, it was really a difficult one for me. It's not. It didn't just happen that my leg was amputated.
Okay.
It was a period of over 10 years of pain
Okay.
before my leg was finally amputated.
Wow.
But I thank God because all of it was to expose the potentials in me. They say necessity is the mother of invention.
That's right.
So when I lost my leg, I even become very creative. I started thinking out of the box. I started thinking of what else can I do. I started thinking about those crazy creative things. I
That's
started
right.
going very deep into those things which people who are on two legs, maybe like who can only sit and think that far.
That's
I
right.
started thinking very far how I can make new livelihood out of this diversity. So that is to me a blessing to be an amputee. And
Okay.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
So can you tell me how is your daily routine? what do you do on daily basis? You know, because I see you are dressed in the sport attire. It's like you exercise every day, or
No, my daily routine. I am a community volunteer.
okay,
Yes, I feel the pain and the empathy of people with disabilities. I take upon myself to go into the communities and figure out people who are newly amputated.
yeah,
I share my story with them and I get them out of trauma. I bring
wow,
them together. I see how I can link them up to one or two opportunities where they can get medical aid and all of that.
okay,
So I also mobilize them together and we do exercise together. But every week I do sport. Every week I
okay,
do training. Yes,
wow,
every week I do sport. So and I'm also I'm also an entrepreneur. I do small businesses around.
okay.
Yeah,
So, what
though,
kind of business do you do?
yeah. At times I buy food items from the villages. I come to town and I sell them. At
Wow,
times I make my parents buy small food items and then at the same time. I'm also married,
okay.
so my wife also helped me in that
Oh, wow,
when I'm moving around.
wow. That's beautiful. So, what is your dream in future as far as amputee football is concerned in Cameroon?
My dream is to create not only necessarily amputee teams,
Yeah.
clubs. My dream is to see how I can replicate some kind of rehabilitation sports program infrastructures in other regions of the country
Okay.
where people with disability can have access to sports facilities
That's right.
because people with disabilities the sports facilities that we have are not inclusive. They are not inclusive and people with disability they do not have access to these things. So I'm thinking of how we can come up with we can replicate other clubs in other regions
Okay.
where we can also create those safe spaces where people with disabilities they can come and they do sport.
Yeah.
Then my intention is also to play in Europe.
Okay.
Yes, I love
How
to.
to play in Europe?
Yes, I love to travel out and play because there are clubs in Turkey, there are clubs in England and other parts of the world. There are teams in US and other countries, which some of them will say if I were there, I could
Okay.
join them.
So, have you ever applied to any of
Yes,
those teams abroad?
The team in US asked me to that if I come over,
Yeah.
I can join them. But now the difficulty is to go over there.
Okay.
Yes, to get a visa to go over there.
Okay.
That's where I have the difficulty.
What about in other countries like in Turkey, in Europe? Have you ever had any connections?
I have the contacts. The issue is just traveling there.
Okay.
Yes, that's the issue. The issue is just traveling there.
All right.
Yes, if I travel there, I'm a very flexible young man and I'm very easy to interact. I'm very easy to. I'm also a very good player.
That's
I have
right.
very good resistance. I have very good stamina.
Okay.
Yes, I have very good ball control as well. So I believe that in less than no time, got my show me, I have such opportunities. I can also come back into the country like Samuel Eto'o,
Yeah.
like the J20,
Wow.
who play in Europe, and I can do a lot of things with my community.
Wow. I
Trust
think
me.
that's the main reason why we are creating this amazing YouTube channel for creativity because you never know who is watching, and someday, just like that, and you achieve your dreams. What do you have to tell the world, like people living with special needs, people who are in the same situation like you? Any advice that you have to tell the world?
Yeah, my advice to people with disabilities or people who have any form of impairment is that disability, first of all, is a state of mind. I believe that any person disabilities are also visible and invisible. You might look at me with a physical disability or physical amputation. You think that I'm disabled. Disabled is just a state of mind. The things that I've done in my life, there are people who are moving on two legs who cannot do it. I just want to encourage people with disabilities that the most important thing that we need as people with disabilities is so that we need empowerment. When I talk about empowerment, I'm not only talking about formal education. I'm talking about learning a trade. I'm talking about having those skills. Like now I play football. Like now I'm a community volunteer. And there are a lot of things in my mind which I'm thinking about creating. So it's all about thinking positively and remain positive and know that you're the best. You're just not a person with disability, but you are a person with diversity. I believe that there are so many potentials in people who have this diversity, and I encourage anybody who have any form of impairment that they should stay focused, they should stay committed, and they should be able to acquire some level of empowerment. They should be able to go to school, they should be able to connect with with enlightened minds, like how I'm connecting now with Mr. Tanto. I believe that connecting with people and creating a positive network around you is going to change your mind and is going to link you to those opportunities that will actually help harness you to reach your rightful and your rightful end.
Dear viewers, thank you for watching my video. Please, if you are new to my channel, do me a favor to subscribe, like, and share this video. It's time we have to support those making a difference in Africa to let them shine. Remember, disability is something that can happen to anybody at any time. So we have to treat people living with disability with respect. We have to support them, and together we can create an inclusive society that everybody will live happily. I am Farmer. No farmer, no future. Peace and blessings.